So I was like, okay, like this, or what do you mean by that? And he said, no, if you're playing on stage with a band, unless you're playing jazz or blues or, some type of like rock ballad, spread your hands out. So what he means by that
Miss
is,
the middle octave?
yes, he said, spread your hands out and leave the middle lane open for an electric to fill that void. And so you're coming alongside the bass down here with your left hand, and then you're coming along the vocals and maybe a lead with your right hand. So what that allows you to be able to do is kind of follow and help. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, come alongside of a lead. So let's say that the electric guitar is playing a lead. You don't necessarily have to stray away from playing anything, but stay out of his register and then add a little tinkle on top, like a little jingle right there. And that helps just kind of give a little breathiness to it. And it kind of actually lightens it up because you have the ability to go way up top and kind of add something just shiny and shimmery on top. Or if it's a bridge, a really big bridge, and you're just playing like solid chords the whole way through, those low chords are actually going to help fill the space out. And that allows an electric to stay in the mid range, which is where an electric fits best. The lead player to play on top of that, and then you to kind of blend in between the bass, the kick, and maybe the lower notes like low E and A strings on the guitar. And you're kind of melding all of that together. So you're actually blending in better by separating. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And so that's nothing that I came up with. That's what this guy was telling me. He was like, spread your hands out and tell your keyboard players, spread your hands out and play the changes.
And I was taught to play in the middle.
I
So
know.
so it's great.
It's crazy, like, which is not a bad thing. So like that's what I was saying. That's why we're kind of in the context of a band.
Yeah.
So like you said that you'll play with. I'm sorry, what was his name again?
Sean.
Sean. That's why I thought I was going to say it incorrectly, because then that makes me feel really bad.
You're good.
So you and Sean are playing. Let's say he's playing an acoustic and you're playing keys. The middle might be a really great place for you to stay. It really might. And the embellishments might be a great thing to do in that context. And so, as a keyboard player, I would say more than anyone on stage, you need to understand your context and what you are putting out. So, like, what sound is coming out of whatever type of keyboard or synth or strings or pads or anything like that. What is coming out and where am I fitting in the mix? So, being able to hear it and then troubleshoot that and go, okay, yeah, this whole thing sounds really dark and deep, and okay, let me jump up an octave,
Well,
and
and
there you go.
the more I'm thinking about the person that told me to stay in the middle, that when she told me that was at a time when we didn't have an electric guitar. So
So
that
it fills out the
makes
sound.
perfect
Exactly.
sense then.
Yeah. So
But
there's,
since then we've added him, and so and I just have continued to do it the way I've always done it.
yeah.
So I need to adapt.
Well, I can tell you this much. We almost every rehearsal on Sunday, so we rehearse Sunday mornings, and almost every time, at least one of the songs, one of us will stop and go, okay, something is just off. Something sounds off, and Joe or myself or Mackenzie or Austin or someone will go, okay, what are you playing? And then, well, I was playing this. Okay, what are you playing? Well, I was playing this. Okay, y'all are playing the same thing, just that you're playing different notes, but in the exact same frequency. So there's too much of that. So one of y'all need to compromise and go to a different part of the spectrum. And so that's band dynamics, but also that helps your sound guy a lot. It helps them be able to distinguish. It helps them be able to create a clearer mix, and so you can actually pull the dB level down, the whole volume down in your sanctuary, and still be able to produce great quality music. Does that make sense? Because you're not having to bump all the sound up to then hear every instrument.
To
you
get
know.
everybody over.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's kind of where I wanted to start, is with dynamics and kind of understanding keys and where they fit. And so keys are one of the hardest things to hear, or they can overpower because of the spectrum of them. And so I kind of just wanted to challenge y'all to, when you go back to your context, to first process your context and, okay, do I need to change anything? And if not, then okay, how can I do this better? And we'll get to that in a second. But then also understanding where you fall in the mix of everybody else. And so I wanted to kind of just challenge your thinking on that. And, okay, I can adapt really quickly as a keyboard player. I can go from playing in the key of A here to playing in the key of A here to playing in the key of A here. I can do it all, you know, or playing in the key of A here, however it fits your context. And so just processing and being willing to change, and because sometimes lead lines can only be played at one particular spot on the guitar, and so that really hinders the frequency. And the drums are set, you know, an acoustic can change with a capo or tuning down or tuning up or something like that, but keys really have the adaptability. So that makes keys awesome, and it makes keys terrible all at the same time.